Thank you so much. Thanks for inviting me. It's a pleasure to join you today and to speak about this excellent mechanism and tool that has been very instrumental for many projects in Latin America, and many of them where MGM has been actively involved. So I would like to start by telling you a little bit who we are, what we do, and then jump into a project case, a project that we implemented in Mexico, which is a landfill gas to energy project. So basically it's power generation from methane gas recovery in a landfill. So MGM is a group, MGM Innova Group, basically composed by 3 different companies. One is MGM Innova Capital, which manages a couple of funds, investment funds, MSCF, which is MGM Sustainable Energy Fund, and MSF2, that supports the implementation of energy efficiency and renewable energy projects in Latin America. The second one, MGM Innova Consulting, is the consulting arm of the group that supports the implementation of the JCM company, so the JCM scheme. So basically, we work with our partners, the representative partner in Japan, addressing GC questions, preparing proposal, and with the local partners, project owner and financiers and everything else. MGM Innova Energy Services, which is our, as the name says, our development, engineering and development company in the group that help us with the implementation of the projects. We basically, as I said, we support pretty much any kind of energy efficiency project, commercial, municipal, industrial efficiency, and distributed generation. We have implemented some of them as JCM projects. I'll provide you with a list in one of my next slides. But pretty much we can implement any type of energy efficiency projects. We are technology agnostic. We don't have preferences, but of course we always looking to implement high-end technology that not only offer energy efficiencies but also carbon emission reductions, and also renewable energy. Basically, we focus a lot of our investments and development effort in small scale projects. We don't do huge, significant utility scale projects. So MGM focus more in distributed generation and small scale projects. The landfill gas to energy project in Mexico is under this biogas to energy practice under renewable energy in the group. Well, basically, we are talking about our JCM experience. I would say that MGM is probably a pioneer in Latin America. MGM has developed the 3 first projects, the first in Costa Rica, the first in Mexico, and the first in Chile. We have a total of 5 projects approved to date, 4 of them which have been already fully implemented and are under operations. One of the first ones was the Mexican project that has been implemented or started in 2016, and a project in Costa Rica, which is a small utility project, solar power generation connected to the grid with Cope Guanacaste, which is electricity cooperative generation in Costa Rica. That was implemented with Panasonic technology. A very interesting project, the third one, is an energy efficiency project in a hotel, Wyndham Hotel, very traditional hotel in San Jose. That project included all the air conditioning system and hot water for the hotel through a Daikin magnetic chiller and a heat recovery system called a Templifier. So that project was also approved in 2016 and developed between 2016 and early 17. The first one in Chile, which is an SPV project, a solar project in a university called Universidad Técnica Federico Santa Maria. in 4 different campuses. They have 4 different campuses, and we did a rooftop solar project basically for their own consumption. The project is in 2 of the sites, it is connected to the grid, and 2 of the sites it's off grid, so 100% consumed by the university on those sites, and on the ones that are connected to the grid, whatever is not consumed is injected to the in the Chilean grid. In addition to those 4 projects, they're fully implemented and operational. We have another project in San Pedro Atacama, up in the Andes, actually a region that is well known for the high insolation, one of the best places in the world for solar generation. That project includes not only solar generation, but also a battery storage project that would basically replace diesel generation. In the Andes, up in the Andes, the systems are off grid, they are not connected to the grid, and basically rely on diesel. So this is a very important project that it was very affected by COVID. I'm going to talk a little bit later about this topic, but San Pedro Atacama is a tourism place. Basically, most of its activity is based on tourism, and for over a year, the city has been shut down, and our client is the water utility, where we would put the plant, and that is significantly financially affected. So this project is in a dire situation right now. We're trying to see if we can recover it, but most likely it's a project that will be eventually canceled due to COVID. We are working on that, but that's one of the impacts that we felt from COVID. Now getting into the specific of the JCM project in Mexico, the landfill is called Tizapan. It's, as I said, it's a landfill gas to energy project, so it's recovery of methane. The project it's very interesting project. When we got involved, they already had one power generation system, a small one. It's a 0.6 megawatt, and that was generating partially with the methane recovered from the landfill. And what we've done is basically we added another system, a 1.2 megawatt system, to utilize the remaining landfill gas available at the site. The project is located at the north of Mexico City in the metro area. It started operations in August 2019. Initially, the project had an agreement to sell electricity to the Comisión Federal de Electricidad, which is the national grid or the national electricity company in Mexico that was basically purchasing the electricity generated in the site. Currently, we have just signed a private PPA with a third party, which offers better electricity prices and makes the project more financially feasible. Once again, I said it's a 1.2 megawatt project. Nominal capacity is about 1 megawatt because the altitude in Mexico, of course, Mexico City affects a little bit the production. The technology is 2G. It's a German technology, but it's actually provided by Fuji Electric, a Japanese company, important Japanese company that has an international alliance with 2G, and which is actually the provider of the solution to us. So we purchased the turnkey solution of the generation part through Fuji Electric, who has supported us throughout the implementation on the project, and he supports us still today, very important support during the maintenance and operation of the system. So our partner, the representative company, the Japanese representative company for this project is NTT Data, and I'm gonna talk a little bit more about them as we move forward. But anyway, NTT has been also a critical partner, and they have been a representative company for the first 3 projects that we introduced. So a very, very critical partner. This is a very important project in terms of emission reductions, because it not only accounts the electricity displaced from the grid, but also the methane avoidance. So the estimated annual average emission reductions from the project can go up to 80,000 tons per year, depending on the electricity output, of course. So, but it's a very important project because of the methane emission avoidance. The project was implemented through an EPC provider in Mexico called Grupo Abarmar, with the support of Energreen, which is the project owner. MGM also invested. We were the primary investor in the project, so we funded that 100% upfront until the subsidy of JCM was actually presented or reimbursed to the project. The subsidy in this project represent about 40% of the total investment, and it was very, very important and a determinant factor for the success of the project. A little bit more information about it. You can see here an aerial photo. The site, this is the generation site on the photo at the top left. The area that is has a blue border is the generation facility inside of the landfill. You can see one generator in the top left, which is the older one, and to the right, at the bottom right, it's the new genset by 2G and Fuji Electric. The second photo shows us basically the two gensets, a photo from the top of the landfill, and a site plan. There's actually room in that area to add a future generator if there is enough waste available in the landfill. The project supports not only the power plant, but also some of the landfill gas recovery infrastructure. So as you can see here, there's a photo of a typical extraction well, and which is basically HDPE pipes, 4 inches, that are placed into the landfill and help us extract the landfill gas. And in the photo to the right, you can see manifolds where we have the control valves that we can open and close the different wells and operate the landfill. We can also take samples of the quality of the gas and methane content. And this is an important piece of the monitoring associated with the MRV for this project. So the landfill, as you can see on the top left, there's a site plan. There's 49 extraction wells, 25 meter deep each, 5 manifolds that can hold 10 wells each. And the JCM supported some of the pipeline, the main pipeline infrastructure, the 12-inch lines, which are the main pipes that take the gas to the generation plant, and some other critical equipment were supported by JCM. So this is a very interesting project and very important in terms of emission reductions contributions. This is a general scheme of the JCM structure for the project. The company in the middle, MGM Metano Mexicano, is SPV, a special purpose vehicle that MGM set up for the investment of this company. So we capitalized this company, and this company was the one that with Energreen, which is the project owner, in project operator today, worked with NTT Data, which is the representative company, to prepare the proposal and present it to GC. Once approved, we implemented the project through an EPC contract with Grupo Abarmar, a Mexican company that supported us with engineering, procurement, construction. And Grupo Abarmar, basically through the EPC, retained Fuji Electric for the provision of the gensets, the 2G gensets. And as I said, Fuji Electric continues supporting us with technical support and startup and maintenance as well. So this was the general scheme. As our colleague from Pacific Consultant was mentioning, one of the critical aspects of this, actually I would say are two. One is the funds for the project implementation. So JCM subsidy is critical to support this, and also support the deployment of high-end technology, highly efficient technology, so and clean technology. So that's critical. And MGM also, as a fund, has the capability of investing in those projects. And the other one is the Japanese representative company. This is not easy to identify. MGM has been working on that for many, many years now. And we do have several partners and representative companies that we work with. In Chile, it was a different company, was non-NTT Data. And so we are prepared to support project owners with the implementation, not only by preparing the documentation and presenting to GC, but also by investing on the project and bringing the Japanese representative company. So yeah, we'll be more than glad to discuss with you if any of you have projects that need funding and is interested in presenting projects to JCM. We strongly recommend it because it's very important to the projects. So on a final note, very important note, I was talking about the challenge that we had in Chile in the San Pedro Atacama project. I'm going to tell you a little bit the importance of a JCM and during the COVID-19 period, but the perspective of a project developer, financier, instead of someone that is looking to implement a new project. I'm going to tell you about what we've seen in the projects that we already had implemented, how they were affected by COVID-19. Okay, so first of all of our projects have faced challenges, all of them. The most affected ones were related with tourism. Was the hotel, the Wyndham Hotel, and the SPV and batteries project in Chile. The first one, of course, hotel has been shut down. Wyndham has occupancy lower than 5% for the last year, starting in April, May. So it has basically affected their financial abilities and a lot of the systems that we invested on, the air conditioning, the chiller, the waste heat recovery, is also being shut down because there's no need for the air utilization because the hotel is empty. So this project has been significantly affected. We are investors in the project as well. So MGM as a fund is supporting our client and our partner to see how we can help them go through the crisis and continue with the project. So it's progressing positively, but it has been a challenge definitely last year. Atizapán was not that affected commercially because it's connected to the grid, the electricity grid. So the demand for electricity didn't go down significantly. So we were able to continue operating and injecting to the grid. So I would say that the only aspect that affected this specific project in Mexico was that even though we took all the precautions to prevent health issues with our colleagues in the field, we had two operators that tested positive for COVID. So we continue monitoring and testing field personnel regularly to avoid health risks, minimize risks, and ensure that operations continue. So we were affected somehow, but not significantly. The Atacama project, of course, as I mentioned, the city is basically a tourist city and it's been shut down for a while right now. So significantly affected the client and the project continuity. The other project in Costa Rica, which is a grid-connected solar power plant, that one has not been affected also because basically we're selling to the grid. So, but anyway, I think it is very important to mention that JCM is very important for a post-pandemic recovery. Okay, that's critical now for companies that are trying to recover. They're cash constrained and they're concerned about continuity of operations to identify financial mechanisms that help them grow sustainably. So MGM is putting a lot of effort working with our partners, technology partners. We work very close with Japanese technology providers such as Sharp in the project in Chile. Sharp is the technology provider that we identified for the Atacama project. Panasonic for the Costa Rica, Daikin, and Fuji Electric. So we continue working with them to identify new projects and support implementation in 2021. So this is last slide with our contact. MGM would be very interested in discussing your needs, and if there's any way we can support implementing your projects in Mexico, not only with the implementation of JCM, introducing the projects to JCM, but also as a funding mechanism. We are interested and we have capital to invest in energy efficiency and renewable energy projects. So thank you so much, and I'll be more than glad to respond to any questions you might have at the end. Thank you.